Here's the twist I didn't expect. The guy from Titanic, the Wolf of Wall Street, the Oscar winner, says fame didn't make him happy. Wild, right? I'm Sarah Reed, and this is Golden American Legends. Today, I'm looking at Leonardo DiCaprio at 50 and the quiet, complicated truth behind the red carpet. What hidden pain might lurk behind that superstar image? He once echoed a line that stuck with me. Fame means millions of people have the wrong idea of who you are. After 5 Oscar nominations between 1994 and 2016, he finally won for The Revenant at age 41, and it didn't magically rewrite how he felt inside. I've been digging through interviews, award archives, and old magazine profiles. From 1994 all the way to his 2024 projects, the pattern that emerges is surprising. Yes, he's global, wealthy, adored, but even he admitted wealth and success don't automatically make you happy. So what's missing? Is there a private sadness underneath the legend? That's our journey. We'll move from his biggest Hollywood moments to the quiet spaces off camera, where the pressure, expectations, and personal sacrifices live. I'll show you the facts, but I'll also tell you what they feel like up close. What do you think Leonardo might be missing despite all his success? Drop your first guess below. Stick around, and if you love deep researched breakdowns, hit like and subscribe. Let's pull on this thread and see where it leads. I didn't expect this from a man who can shut down a boulevard with fans. Leo says he feels like an outsider. That word, outsider, keeps popping up. In a 2016 interview, he admitted, "I will always feel like an outsider. I'd never belong in that club." Imagine being the face of Titanic and still feeling like you're peeking through the window. Let's rewind. As a kid, he got turned away from auditions. He grew up between 2 worlds. His parents divorced, and in a 1994 interview, he said he sort of preferred it because he had 2 different worlds to connect with. That's such a telling phrase. 2 worlds sounds rich, but it can also mean never fully fitting into either. Then, at 18, he breaks onto the big screen with This Boy's Life in 1993. Talent wasn't the problem. Belonging was the question. From what I've learned, that outsider lens shaped his drive. Work harder, pick challenging roles, and keep control. But it can also build a shell. If you've ever felt like you didn't belong, you know that tight feeling in your chest. It's fuel and armor. Poll time. Have you ever felt like an outsider? Share your story in the comments, because this might explain a lot about what comes next, especially when the world decides you're a star before you feel like a person. Here's the paradox. You climb the mountain, plant the flag, and feel the same wind. Leo's career is Everest level. 5 nominations before he finally grabbed that Best Actor Oscar for The Revenant in 2016 at age 41. You'd think that's the moment the inner doubts melt. Instead, he kept it honest. He even referenced that sharp idea. Fame can mean millions of people have the wrong idea of who you are. That line hits different when the whole world thinks they know you. Backstage, he joked he had no shot in hell of getting an Oscar. He'd trained his brain for rejection. So when the statue finally landed in his hands, it felt like relief, not reinvention. Awards change schedules, not souls. Money and applause make the room louder, not quieter. So I ask you, does fame equal happiness? Tell me why or why not. From what I've seen in the archives, Leo learned to separate the work from the worth. He kept choosing difficult roles, stretching himself, chasing quality. But that inner outsider doesn't vanish under stage lights. If applause isn't the cure, what is? Maybe the answer shows up in the one place studios can't control, your personal life. Okay, deep breath. Let's talk love. For 2 decades, Leo's relationships have been front-page news. Gisele Bündchen from 1999 to 2005, Bar Raffaelli from 2005 to 2011, later Camilla Morrone from 2017 to 2022. Always high profile, always glamorous, but no marriage, no kids. He's given coy answers over the years. At one point, joking he'd only consider marriage after living with someone for a decade or 2, and more recently, a shrugging, if it happens, about children. That's not a man rushing toward a picket fence. Now, I'm not judging. Honestly, I respect the privacy. But as a cultural historian, patterns tell stories. The outsider feeling can make intimacy tricky. When fame mislabels you, who really sees you? When you're constantly on location, who grows with you? Sometimes the safer choice is the shorter chapter. It's control. It's protecting the work. Is there loneliness in that? Maybe. Or maybe it's the cost of a life built around intensity and focus. You tell me, should celebrities prioritize career or family? Vote in the comments. Because when love doesn't anchor you, you often look for purpose somewhere else. And that's exactly where Leo's off-camera life gets interesting. When the spotlight's cool, Leo goes quiet and purposeful. This is the side I admire most. He founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation back in 1998 to fight for the planet. He steps onto UN stages, funds conservation projects, and, in 2009, even bought Blacador Caye in Belize to create an eco-resort built around restoration. That's not hobby energy, that's mission energy. He rarely gives interviews about his private life, which tells me he guards what matters and lets action speak. Watch his choices: documentaries on climate, grants for wildlife corridors, support for indigenous land protection. If the screen gives him reach, this work gives him meaning. I've read the releases and old environmental news hits. This isn't green gloss, it's a steady drumbeat. I picture him trading tuxes for field boots, listening more than talking. For someone who felt like an outsider, protecting a shared home, the Earth, might be the most natural way to belong. If you could dedicate yourself to any cause like Leo, what would it be? Drop it below. Because his cause work sets up the last piece of this puzzle, what he's still searching for at 50. So what does a man who's done almost everything actually want at 50? Here's my read. Leo's still chasing work that scares him in the best way. In 2023, he anchored Killers of the Flower Moon, another heavy human story. He keeps mixing art with advocacy, and that feels intentional. It's fulfillment by building, not by basking. But beneath the triumphs, I sense a quieter question. If the work and the awards don't complete you, what does? Maybe the real tragedy isn't doom, it's the ache of being human while everyone treats you like a myth. He's resilient, grateful to the parents who backed him early, and still that kid who never felt fully inside the club. That's haunting and strangely hopeful. I don't think he's broken. I think he's searching. And honestly, aren't we all? At 50, Leo's legacy is bigger than box office. It's the choices he makes when no one's watching. Final question. What do you think Leonardo is still chasing at 50? Purpose? Family? Peace? Tell me in the comments. We combed through decades of charts, archives, and interviews to connect these dots. This is Golden American Legends, and I'm grateful you're on this ride with me. Here's where I land. Leonardo DiCaprio's story at 50 is triumph wrapped around a quiet longing. He conquered the mountain, but he's still looking for the view that feels like home. That's beyond heartbreaking at times, and it's also deeply inspiring because it proves success and soul are two different journeys. If this deep dive moved you, share it and hit subscribe. What do you think Leo will seek next? A different kind of role, a family chapter, or a deeper push into activism? Comment below. I read them all. Thank you for spending time with me, Sarah Reed, here on Golden American Legends Reframed sister channel, Golden American Legends. Our sources ranged from 1994 interviews to 2023 press kits and climate summit footage, so you're getting the clearest picture we can build without the gossip. And with this, what question would you ask Leonardo if you had the chance? Drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching, thanks for caring, and as always, stay curious, deep dive fans. I'll see you in the next one.